Happening now, the latest in the investigation, probing what started a fire that destroyed a popular Chautauqua County restaurant, and the arrest by Jamestown police, recovering a stolen pistol and illegal narcotics. Plus, we check in with a local wildlife center working to stop the spread of a bird flu in the Jamestown area.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us for WNY News Now as we start off a brand new week. I'm Justin Gould. The latest local news is coming up, but first let's get a check of our weather forecast. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter coming off of a pretty uneventful weekend weather-wise, but your boredom is our gain in many cases, Dakota.
That's right. That's right. Andrew and I's boredom is your gain. Enjoy it because, you know, this time of the year we can have rain and snow as we've had, and nothing out there for today, but the clouds have really started to thicken up, and you're going to see that on the satellite imagery, the clouds starting to roll in now, and we're going to see more clouds through the afternoon hours. So say goodbye to the sunshine that we had this morning. It is gone, and I don't think it's going to return throughout much of the day. 33 was the high yesterday. We started the day at 26, 75, and 14 are the records for this day. So through the afternoon, the sunshine is pretty much gone behind clouds now, so the clouds thicken through the rest of the afternoon. Still chilly. This is below average, 41 to 49, but at least the winds will be light. Now, we are keeping our eyes on a couple chances for showers over the next couple of days. We'll talk about it in detail in that Ultimate Satellite Solutions 7-day forecast later on in the show. Justin?
All right, Dakota, we'll see you back in a bit. Thank you. 2 people are facing charges after police allegedly recovered a loaded pistol and various illegal narcotics during a traffic stop in Jamestown. City of Jamestown police stopped a vehicle in the area of North Main and Buffalo Streets after spotting an expired inspection around noon on Sunday. Following an investigation, officers allegedly located a loaded .380 pistol and around 30 grams of methamphetamine and a fentanyl compound mix concealed in a void under the center console there. That semi-automatic pistol, police say, was reported stolen. Furthermore, the department said that they also found scales and packaging materials in the car. 24-year-old Dakota Murphy Jr. of Dunkirk and 34-year-old Joshua Hammer of Collins Center, New York, were taken into custody. While searching their person, officers say they also found an additional quantity of drugs in Hammer's possession and brass knuckles on Murphy. Both face a slew of charges, including criminal possession of a weapon and criminal possession of a controlled substance. They were held at the jail pending arraignment in city court. And a local business in Ellery was destroyed by fire over the weekend. Around 2:12 Saturday morning, the Fluvanna Fire Department along with several other local agencies responded to a structure fire at the Homestead Café restaurant. That's at 3062 Route 430 in Ellery. In a post on their Facebook page, management there thanked all the first responders, saying those with upcoming catering events should reach out and be patient in waiting for a response. As you can see by the fire, most of that building was completely destroyed. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Fire Investigation Team now working to determine a cause there and the origin. Luckily, no injuries were reported as of last check. Still no word on what actually sparked the blaze. Well, the changing seasons has brought more birds back to our area, and with them comes a new wave of avian influenza worries. As our Julia Gress reports today, local wildlife experts in Jamestown are now taking action to try to stop that spread.
Executive Director at the Audubon Community Nature Center, Lee Raveno, says the avian flu was first detected in January. With warming temperatures, it could begin to spread faster.
An avian flu, it's just like a human flu. It comes around every once in a while, and right now it's affecting mostly poultry and then wild birds of prey. So it's carried by a lot of waterfowl birds, which are starting to return to the area right now.
To decrease the spread, the Cornell Cooperative Extension is recommending stopping activities that cause birds to gather, including pausing all bird feeding and bath filling.
It's sort of an extra precaution because when birds tend to gather, just like people, they can spread a virus more quickly. So for now, we're leaving them down. They have plenty of food to forage for in the wild, so we're not worried.
The Audubon Community Nature Center has also put up a goose fence along their pond to reduce the possibility of transmission, and have implemented specific protocols for staff and volunteers who work with their birds of prey. Those who live near water are encouraged to join this pause, as well as those who have wild turkeys visiting or backyard poultry. The disease has been identified in over 350 wild birds in 20 states, including New York. It does not affect humans. However, area conservation organizations have said if the virus continues to spread and mutate, that may change.
We reach a lot of people, so we try to take advantage of that reach and really provide as much education as we can to the public, especially when it comes to something like this that people are nervous about, don't have a lot of information on.
The conservation organizations also remind us to clean bird feeders regularly, more often during hot, wet weather, with a 1 to 10 bleach to water solution. Julia Gruss, WNY News Now.
Julia, thank you. Concerns about dead or sick wild birds should be directed to the Region 9 Department of Environmental Conservation. We'll have more info with a link posted there later today at WNYNewsNow.com. Over $100,000 to help further capital improvement projects has been awarded to 3 Jamestown area institutions. It's all part of a grant from New York State's Council on the Arts. $10,000 will be allocated to Affinity Visual and Performing Arts to install a new display system. Another allotment of $10,000 will be earmarked to the Roger Tory Peterson Institute and a new access ramp installation effort. Finally, in the largest allotment, $88,000 is going to go to the Reggie Linné Center for the Arts that will help pay for sound rigging and lighting system upgrades. Overall, 110 projects received funding across the state as part of this program. And State Senator George Borrello is pushing to suspend all gas-related taxes in New York as a way to help provide an immediate relief to drivers struggling with prices at the pump. A bill that cut a small portion of the gas tax was proposed in Albany. However, Borrello says he's unsure if his colleagues would take up his call to suspend the full amount in what's known as a gas holiday. It's not only the push underway. A similar proposal would hand out $250 rebate checks to drivers, something Borrello says is a, quote, ridiculous idea. He tells us that would waste money on a program that would be, quote, wrought with fraud, end quote, handing out money to anyone with a registered vehicle across the state.
The quickest, best way to do this, to provide immediate relief, is to suspend all of the state and local taxes on gasoline, which is about 48 cents a gallon in New York State. And I think it's important. I think it's important that New York State also feel that pain financially, that loss of that revenue, because we have a horribly irresponsible energy policy here in New York State. And that is why New York State is one of the most expensive places to buy gasoline to begin with.
Now, as of Monday morning, AAA reporting New York State's average price for a gallon of gas is $4.29, with Chautauqua County's average price clocking in at $4.23 a gallon. So across the average, some relief there. As WNY News Now continues, the latest on a fatal fire in Pennsylvania, which claimed the life of 3 children and their grandmother. And later, details on a new lawsuit filed by former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Stay with us. WNY News Now. We'll be right back after this.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Brought to you by the Chautauqua Safety Village and the Jamestown Fire Department. EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvanna Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer, plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Welcome to Honest John's Pizzeria, where you are the most important customer.
Everything from freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has it all.
And don't forget the ice cream!
Order online today or check out our 2 great locations with buffets ready for every appetite.
Don't I have the best job in the world?
Celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer with a day of fun activities for children in the Jamestown area, hosted by Collaborative Children's Solutions and the City of Jamestown. The first part of the day happens at Northwest Arena, where both kids and parents alike can learn about activities available to youth. Later in the evening, finish out the night at the Tarp Skunk baseball game, along with a fireworks show at Russell Dietrich Jr. Park. Stop on down on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
An update now as the investigation continues into a house fire in Pennsylvania that claimed 4 lives, 3 of them children. According to preliminary findings from the Crawford County coroner, all 4 victims likely died of smoke inhalation. They suffered burns as well. It appears that the 10 and 14-year-old boys and 6-month-old baby girl were found on the 2nd floor of the home. Their 65-year-old grandmother was in a separate apartment on the side of the 1st floor. The fire burned so hot, crews had to fight it from the outside. When the fire was out, it took time to recover their bodies because the roof had collapsed and parts of the 2nd floor caved into the 1st. The heat of the flames apparently blocked any escape routes, officials said. 2 others were hurt in the fire and they remain hospitalized. A 45-year-old woman at Mercy Hospital in Pittsburgh, a 63-year-old man at Meadville Medical Center. State fire marshals in Pennsylvania have been sifting through the rubble to find a cause. They'll meet today with the coroner. And former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has filed a suit against the State Ethics Commission over the money for his book deal. New York State Joint Commission on Public Ethics want him to pay back $5.1 million he earned writing a book while he was a state employee. The battle over proceeds from Cuomo's book entitled American Crisis: Leadership Lessons from the COVID-19 Pandemic has been ongoing. Ethic commissioners claim state employees and resources were improperly used in drafting that book. The lawsuit against the Ethic Commission comes as the former governor is said to be considering a political comeback. Cuomo resigned in August 2021 after an investigation by the state attorney general found he had sexually harassed 11 women. The former governor has repeatedly denied all those accusations. And New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced over the weekend the first female officer to head the New York Air National Guard. Brigadier General Denise Donnell, a Clifton Park resident, is taking over duties as the commander of the 5,900-member New York Air National Guard. Donnell follows Major General Timothy LaBarge, who's retiring. The change of command ceremony took place at the New York National Guard headquarters in Latham. The Brigadier General served in the United States Navy from 1993 to 2002 and is a command pilot with over 4,400 hours of flying time, including 280 hours in direct combat. Well, for the past several weeks, we've been introducing you to the candidates running for some of the highest offices from New York and Pennsylvania. And today, we hear from one of those candidates in the Keystone State. State Capitol correspondent Brendan Scanlon introduces us to the Republican candidate for governor, Charlie Giroux.
National conservative leader Charlie Giroux serves as vice chairman of CPAC and the American Conservative Union. Giroux's lived in Pennsylvania for nearly 6 decades, but his story begins far from the Commonwealth.
Wasn't born here. I was born in a slum in southern Brazil, and my birth mother realized that she couldn't take care of me, so she put me up for adoption, asked for only one thing, that I be adopted by Americans.
Giroux began his career on Ronald Reagan's campaign. He's the CEO of a public relations firm in Harrisburg, and now he's running for governor.
I believe Pennsylvania is in the front line of a battle this year for the heart and soul of our country.
Giroux says he envisions a new path for America where Pennsylvania plays a critical role.
One of individual liberty, personal freedom, and the hope, growth, and opportunity that I represent as a candidate.
Economic recovery is a vital part of his vision.
Literally a third of our small businesses have been shuttered and aren't necessarily coming back.
His plan is to focus on job creation and reducing taxes like the corporate net income tax.
So we've got to make Pennsylvania competitive again by getting our business taxes down to a competitive level.
Giroux says the answer for rising gas and energy costs is right here in Pennsylvania.
We have trillions of cubic feet of natural gas right underneath our soil.
Achieving energy independence is something he looks forward to if elected.
In order to be energy independent, we need to dramatically increase Pennsylvania's usage of natural gas in particular.
Giroux faces off in the crowded Republican primary on May 17th. In Harrisburg, Brendan Scanlon reporting.
All right, Brendan, thank you. A winning Take 5 lottery ticket was sold in Cattaraugus County over the weekend. The New York State Lottery Association says the ticket was purchased at the South Dayton Supermarket on Pine Street. It won Saturday evening's drawing, which featured winning numbers 4, 11, 15, 24, and 32. The ticket is one of 2 first prize winners sold across New York State. The other winning ticket was in Manhattan. The 2 tickets would split the winnings worth about $21,000. Coming up, we head to Jamestown's airport where hundreds turned out for a meet and greet over this past weekend, gathering feedback for the future of that site. But when we return, a full look at our weather forecast. Stay with us. Dakota's back right after this.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
I know what you're thinking. I need a job. I need a new career.
Well, I've been there.
I've been there.
I've been there. I wasn't happy with what I was doing.
After high school, I didn't have a plan.
I just wanted to start working. I got laid off twice, but you gotta keep going.
You just need the right skills. Find an apprenticeship.
I found a 2-year IT program.
I found a medical course online.
I'm now a consultant in the tech space.
You have more options than you think. You can do this.
You will find something.
You will find something new.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Fast, accurate, and everyday. First Defense Weather.
All right, welcome back, everybody. And it is that time once again. We have Storm Spotter training coming up this Wednesday, which is being held by the National Weather Service in Buffalo. And I mean, you know, we talk about this every year because it is very important. We need more storm spotters out there. And again, it's only the spotters that see down at the ground, and it is so important. So it comes up at 7 o'clock. It is being held online, and it is free to attend. And all you have to do is just register your spot, because spots are limited. So go to weather.gov/BUF/Skywarn, and you can click on the dates and you can register for your Skywarn training session. And again, everybody needs to be Skywarn trained because it is, again, only the people who see down at the ground. And something else that we see down at the ground is the snow. We're running below average for snowfall this year. 82.4 inches is the current snowfall total. That's down over a foot. And as we run right now, this is actually the 11th least snowiest on record in the city of Jamestown, dating all the way back to 1895. 37 degrees right now is a noon hour, a light wind, and the fog is burned off. We had some fog earlier this morning, and it's still chilly out there, but we are going to see warmer days ahead. The average high for today is around 51. By the first of next month, it's 64, 73 by June 1st, and even though I don't like it, by July 1st, the average high shoots up to 80 degrees. And then after middle July is when we start falling back and we start actually cooling off into the fall months. So here's what's going on the satellite and radar composite. A warm front's going to shove on through tomorrow, but notice all this rain shower sparking out ahead of the front. That's ultimately going to come our way through the overnight hours. So let's show it to you on Future Scan. Really nothing through the day. The model does pop up a couple of little blobs. I don't really think those are going to materialize, but I do think the afternoon will be mainly cloudy. As we go through the overnight hours, we will see a couple spotty showers as the warm front pushes through tomorrow. We are going to see a couple more scattered showers through the day tomorrow, but I do think much of the day on Tuesday will be dry. The better chance of rain will come on Wednesday, and there could be a couple thunderstorms embedded within some of this as we go through Wednesday afternoon. We'll keep our eyes on it. So mostly cloudy tonight, chance for a couple light showers down to 33 in the deepest valleys to around 40 at the immediate Lake Erie shoreline. Now, the next 7 days, powered by Ultimate Satellite Solutions, so 57 tomorrow. There's that chance for a couple thunderstorms on Wednesday. We shoot up to 64. Couple scattered showers Thursday and Friday. We're cooler for the weekend, Justin, but it does look like signs point to another warm-up coming by next week.
All right, I will take that, Dakota. Break out those umbrellas, too. Thank you, sir. Well, it's shaping up to be a big week for Supreme Court nominee Ketanji Brown Jackson. President Biden's pick for the High Court is expected to be confirmed as soon as this week, with a Senate panel set to vote Monday to advance her nomination. That vote will likely end up split down party lines 11 to 11, but there are still ways Jackson's nomination can move to a confirmation vote in the coming days. It's rare for the Senate Judiciary Committee to tie on a Supreme Court nom, but nomination battles have become increasingly contentious, and the split current to the split in the Senate, which is 50-50. If confirmed, Jackson will be the first black woman to be a Supreme Court justice. Well, Skippy is recalling over 100,000 pounds of peanut butter because it says the jars may contain small steel fragments. Skippy's parent company, Hormel Foods, announced the recall. It says that it involves more than 9,300 cases of select Skippy reduced fat creamy peanut butter, reduced fat chunky peanut butter, and the creamy peanut butter blended with plant protein. The jars may contain a small piece of stainless steel from a manufacturing equipment. The company has received no complaints about the product yet. They say they were notified by the facility. More info for consumers is available at peanutbutter.com, and check the best if used by dates on those products for specifics. Now, if you do happen to have some of that peanut butter that was recalled, officials say you can return it to a store for an exchange. Well, the true horrors of the Russians' occupation in Ukraine was revealed over the weekend as Russian strikes on Ukrainian cities continue. This as new reports come in that Russian forces were holding 11 Ukrainian mayors captive and killed one of them. Cole Higgins has the latest, and we want to warn you, some of the video in this report is graphic and disturbing.
Odessa under attack Sunday morning. A Russian missile strike hitting an oil refinery and fuel depot in the key southern Ukrainian port city. To the northwest of the capital, Kyiv, in Bucha.
It is a brutality against civilians we haven't seen in Europe for decades.
New disturbing images show a mass grave with bodies wrapped in black plastic bags. And alarming video shows more than a dozen bodies strewn across the streets of the village, which has seen some of the heaviest fighting since the start of the war.
Indeed, this is genocide.
We believe that Russian forces have committed
war crimes, and we've been working to document that.
Despite the evidence, Russia claims the extensive footage from Bucha is fake. Some good news: Ukrainian prisoners of war rescued from Russian forces and returning to Kyiv. A senior Ukrainian defense official claims the region of Kyiv is now liberated from Russian forces. But NATO Secretary General warns that Ukraine and the world shouldn't let down their guard.
What we see is not a real withdrawal, but we see that Russia is repositioning its troops. The attacks will continue.
During his visit to Malta, Pope Francis.
Let us now pray to her for peace as we think of the humanitarian tragedy in martyred Ukraine, still under the bombings in a sacrilegious war.
I'm Cole Higgins reporting.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
How prepared is your family if a hurricane shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a blizzard? You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why it's important to go to ready.gov/plan now. It has the tools and tips you need to make an emergency plan with your family. So if disaster comes knocking,
let's go.
You'll be ready to help keep your family safe.
It's just a pizza.
Yes. Make a plan today.
Visit the Northwest Arena on Friday, June 24th, as we celebrate the end of school and say hello to summer. Learn about activities available to youth in the Jamestown area, plus end the night with fireworks at the Tarp Skunks game. Learn more online at ccsolutions716.com.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
Hundreds of people from across the county took part in a meet and greet breakfast at the Jamestown Airport over the weekend. Our Bronson Rasmussen attended to discuss the future of air service in our region.
The pancake breakfast, headed up by the new Chautauqua County Airport Manager Shannon Barnhart, aimed to reignite public interest in the airfield while also gauging feedback. Barnhart says she was surprised to see hundreds take part in the social event, traveling in by automobile and airplane.
It's definitely exceeded my expectations. We've had so many of the public, family, friends, everyone. We had several airplanes fly in today, and it's just couldn't be better.
Those that operate out of the facility showcase their businesses, and groups including the head of the local Civil Air Patrol.
I'm hoping that the airport gets lots of people to come out and see what a great airport it is.
Mike Johnson with Majestic Aviation operates a flight training program and plane rental service.
So the goal of this is just to promote the airport and to just get the word out there about all the businesses and stuff that we have going on up here. So even though there is no commuter service here, we still are teaching people how to fly daily. We are buying and selling aircraft, and we are fixing people's aircraft that come from all over the world.
While the breakfast event was limited to Saturday morning, Barnhart has big plans for the year.
Hopefully more things like this. You know, I'd like to do a fly-in. This year is the 90th anniversary of the Jamestown Airport, and we're hoping to do something fun. That day is on August 20th, and it happens to be a Saturday, so let's hope we can figure some things out.
Officials with the airport are open to suggestions in hope of improving services. A survey was handed out to those in attendance. For more information on the airport, visit chqgov.com. Bronson Rasmussen, WNY News Now.
All right, Bronson, thank you. Yeah, that's a big milestone anniversary for Jamestown's airport, and we'll definitely keep tabs on that and what could happen there. But a lot of times, and I know we talked about this last week when we first announced that this was coming, the meet and greet feedback event, and not that many people maybe know what the airport has to offer. I personally didn't know that they very much still taught people how to fly and had aircraft coming in from places to fuel and things like that. So even though there isn't that commercial element of, hey, I could buy a plane ticket to go to Pittsburgh for the day. Even though that's not there at this point, there still is activity, so pretty cool to see.
Now, I'm going to throw out the probability, because that's what we do in the weather business,
Right.
it's probabilities. Do you personally see, or is there any word that they might try to bring commercial service back?
So maybe. That is one thing that I know the county and the legislature has discussed. They were going to allocate some ARPA funding to try to do a study to look at maybe bringing air service back, and I believe they actually said no to the ARPA funding, but they're looking to get a grant to do a study. And the issue with that is, like, they do these things, and it's not a knock on anybody, but in many cases, we already seem to know that, yeah, there were air service in the past, but how much of people will actually support it? And I think that's really what it comes down to, is if these companies can make money doing this. And that's, I think, the big question that has yet to be answered. So
I guess the argument is, why would you buy a plane ticket to Pittsburgh or Buffalo when you can drive there?
Exactly. So, but rising gas prices, maybe.
That's a good point.
Have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow.